According to the Ministry of Education in China, over 700,000 Chinese students studied abroad in 2019. After the coronavirus crisis hit the global community, most schools were switched to remote study and dorms were shut down. These overseas Chinese students lived with pressure and panic. Some of them, like Tina Wen, embarked on a long-distance flight, deciding to go back to China, where the coronavirus situation is getting better. Others, like He Yan, decide to stay in Boston and comply with social distancing guidelines until the quarantine ends.
我现在在荷兰的候机厅，然后这次的话是荷兰飞广州，这是最后一程转机的行程了，然后希望一切顺利。
So I was living on campus during my whole entire year of college. One day I received an email saying that we have to move out of the dorm, but I think my current finance plan didn't really support me to find another place to live. So I decided maybe I should just go home. Also, living in my dorm in America is kind of, lonely and anxious sometimes because I don't have a friend to talk to in person. Going back to China is also a time where also seeking help from my family, also united from my family. So I think like going back to China is the most important decision made during the pandemic, but also I think so far it is a good choice.
What's your concern when you were deciding whether you should go back to China during the pandemic?
The tickets is my major concern. It is too expensive. It is not very easy to be accessed. Second is my F1 status. The student status, some visa issue is very important, and I can't get rid of this because it's related with next time I come back to US. So I just still keep balance on that. And the third is the high risk to be infected during the trip, because I know that lots of cases were confirmed during the trip, and it is very dangerous. I don't want to be infected.
So during the pandemic, there are only one flight a week back to China. So first of all, I fly to Atlanta a day earlier so that I stay there for a night, and early day in the morning, I fly from Atlanta to Netherlands, and there is a stop from Netherlands to Guangzhou, China. So yeah, that's my 2 transit stops, 3-day flight.
So this seems like kind of a simple pose.
What's the strategy to stay here during the quarantine?
The most important, I think, is to keep positivity. Don't be feared by anything else.
How do you keep positively?
Making sure that every day you have time to exercise. So because exercise is very important to pump up myself every day. And the second is to do as normal. Don't think, oh, I'm a quarantine lady, something like that. Just keep normal, doing what you're doing at normal time. And the third one is find something new, like to learning some new skills, like guitar or singing songs at your own home, even though it sounds like a crazy, or just doing some anything stuff you're interested in.
I booked a lot of flights before this flight can work. So I think I've bought around 5 tickets in total, but only one worked. I remember every day I woke up to see my ticket and it got canceled. So it's like when you woke up, the entire world is different. And this kind of situation continued around 2 weeks. So it's a lot for an international student to experience at that time. Yeah, it's really bad those kind of days. But I'm glad I came back. I remember the time when our flight landed in Guangzhou. The staff workers on the plane are saying that welcome home, welcome back to China, because I think that moment that's really moving. When you finally landed to your motherland and you can finally unite it with your family. So after we came out of the airplane, we have to fill out several forms, like checking whether you are feeling good or not. And also, since we're all from different places, we are going to placed in different hotels according to our destinations.
When I saw that outside is a very heavy raining or a heavy snowing, I feel very happiness and relief because I can stay at home for this reason. But if you say that there's very good weather outside, to be honest, I feel a little bit sad because the very apparent like contrast between how the weather is well and how serious the situation human beings are going through. If you put them into one table and just think about it, you will feel, oh, this spring is so beautiful, but it is an empty world.
So right now, I've heard there are 3 confirmed cases on my flight. So I'm kind of worried every day that what if I got a call from the medical center early in the morning, and I know there are a lot of my friends who sit next to the one who got the coronavirus. They get a call from the medical center and they have to go to the hospital to do several checks, and they cannot stay in the quarantine hotel anymore. And so for right now, I'm just really worried getting the calls from the medical centers. I just hope that everyone is okay and nobody got the virus.